Okay, Umara, please start. Shall we start?
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, all.
Welcome, Dr. Wad. Welcome, Shaina ma'am.
Thank you.
Rizwan sir, welcome. Who else is here? Anita ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Professor Vibha, I can hear you.
Welcome.
Good evening. Welcome.
Okay, please start, Umara.
Good evening to all. I, Rida Ali, a research scholar in the Department of English at AMU. I extend a warm welcome to the guest of honor and distinguished foreign faculty, Professor Stefan Helgesson, Stockholm University, Sweden. Guest of honor, Professor Anita Singh, chairperson of the Department of English, Banaras Hindu University. Chief guest, Professor M.J. Varsi, Baba Ghulam Shah Badshah University, Rajouri. Professor Claudia Ederer, Stockholm University, Sweden. Professor Akshay Kumar Rath, IIT Bhubaneswar. Professor Mohammad Rizwan Khan, Dean, Faculty of Arts, AMU. Professor Shahina Taranum, Chairperson of the Department of English, AMU. And Professor Vibha Sharma, Course Coordinator and the Local GIAN Coordinator. I would also welcome all the other teachers, participants who have joined us. I welcome you all to the valedictory session of the 5-day online GIAN course on unraveling the problem of history, exploring the African and Indian writing, organized by the Department of English, Aligarh Muslim University from the 25th February to the 1st of the March. As per the traditions of the Aligarh Muslim University, we begin our program by taking the name of the Almighty. So I would like to request Mr. Jamil Hussain, a research scholar in the Department of English, to recite a few verses from the Holy Quran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم. The translation of the verses that I have recited now. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. By the time, indeed, humanity is at loss, except for those who believe and do righteous deeds and advise each other to truth and advise each other to patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jamil, for the beautiful recitation and translation. It's been an enriching few days as we explored the intricate connections between the history and literature, examining that how narratives shape, challenge, and reinterpret our understanding of the past. From African literary responses to colonialism and the Black Atlantic to Indian historiographical debates and post-colonial perspectives, this course has opened up new ways of thinking about history through fiction. This course has been as much a learning experience for us, the organizing team, as it has been for all of you as we were put through our paces to ensure that we can put together a course that feels efficient and organized, both in content and delivery. All good things must come to an end, but the insights we have gained will continue to resonate. Our sincere gratitude to Professor Stefan Helgeson, Professor Claudia Eggerer, Professor Anita Singh, Professor Mohammad Rizwan Khan, Dr. Akshay Kumar Rath, and Professor Vibha Sharma for their invaluable contributions. To tell you more about the whole experience and to give you keener insights on the dynamics of the course, I would now invite Professor Vibha Sharma, course coordinator and local GIAN coordinator, to give the welcome address and to also present the event report. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Rida. Uh, Good afternoon, all the participants. Professor Mohammad Jahangir Warsi, Dean Academic Affairs, Baba Ghulam Shah Badshah University, the chief guest for this event. My very dear colleagues from Stockholm University, Professor Stefan, Professor Claudia, and Banaras Hindu University, Department of English, Chairperson, Professor Anita Singh, my colleague from IIT Bhubaneswar, Dr. Akshay Rath, who is right now in a car and has therefore sent a message, and Professor Mohammad Rizwan Khan, the Dean Faculty of Arts, Senior Faculty Member in the Department of English, and Professor Shahina Tarannum, Chairperson, Department of English, all the colleagues who have joined right now. I can also see my friend, wonderful friend, Professor Vandana, who is here to learn and unlearn and relearn, as she said in the beginning. And I'm so full of things to express myself. I think words will definitely fail me, but I'll definitely try to put something across to you. It's been a wonderful 5 days, and history has always been a matter of interest for me. And therefore, when Professor Stefan proposed this particular concept to be taught in these 5 days, I was overjoyed because that was something that I had asked for but had never uttered. So I must thank Professor Stefan for taking out such a valuable time. Participants and my colleagues, I must inform him that he is so heavily engaged. He would have loved to travel to India, if only because of the responsibilities that he has. You all know his designations. He is also a dean in his faculty, and he has so many other responsibilities in the university. But despite that, such wonderful, meticulous presentations, which so much of content, I think I am richer by all means by attending those lectures, and I'll be definitely using each and every content that you have supplied here in my lectures to come. And how can I say and thank Professor Claudia, because she has joined us halfway through. She volunteered that she would love to join this beautiful course. Can you find a colleague or a faculty member across the world who would love to volunteer? She is so precious for all of us. I just pray for her long life and a healthy life, that she should remain as energetic, as warm, and as inclusive a person that she is in her content that she delivered here. She is an expert of environmental humanities. and the way she talks about the entire world and the marginalized people in her discussions, that has been a big impact on me. I have been guided into my love for environmental humanities because of Claudia's contribution. And in my life, Stockholm University's English department figured only because of the invitations that Professor Claudia offered to me. And now that is a very innate part of my personality, my academic journey. So thank you. This is a platform where I must acknowledge that, not just for this lecture, but for everything that you have provided me. And I'm so happy to have on board Professor Mohammad Jahangir Warsi, because I have stepped into his shoes as the local GIAN coordinator, and he is such a dynamic person that who could not have stayed in those shoes for long. He definitely has many carpets to sit on and fly around the world. And that is why, despite being a faculty member at Linguistics Department, Aligarh Muslim University, he is right now sitting in Jammu and Kashmir and is Dean Academic Affairs and is Dean of various schools of humanities in this university. He has also founded the linguistics department there. And despite that, Professor Jahangir Warsi has not lost interest in his university, and he is participating from there and has given us this precious time. Thank you so much. I didn't have to thank all of you, but I cannot hold myself back from this because I'm overwhelmed with your cooperation, with Professor Anita's cooperation. She is a chairperson herself. And look at the way she delivered this beautiful lecture. She brought on board the idea of women and their history and drama. So 3 components were provided by her. And I'm very, very thankful to her for doing this to us. And Dr. Raksha Rath has made a wonderful collaboration with us in bringing archives and history, how archives are so important and how to write about archives in literature. He has discussed a wonderful Gandhian intervention in this course, and with his again a very busy schedule. I was blessed with good people all around, and they had to be busy. They have to be busy. Please stay busy, but please always be with us whenever I want you around. And that was what has happened this time also. Our Shahina ma'am, the chairperson of the department, she's been so cooperative. It's not an easy thing to run this big department, one of the biggest departments of this university. And she always comes forward for all her support and all her ideas. I always have the senior person on with me whenever I have any problem. Thank you so much. And Professor Mohammad Rizwan Khan, my mentor and the person who is always guiding the students and all of us, his GIAN programs had actually inspired me to take this up. And I got the experience of attending those programs, and I could see how valuable it is to go forward with such programs, to broaden the horizon as a teacher, as an academic, and as a research scholar, as a researcher. So thank you, sir, for being there. And all of you have made such valuable contribution in the form of topics. If I just recapitulate very quickly, I will not take more than 2 minutes now. In the form of report, I would have loved to mention it in the form of PowerPoint, but let me just give you the points. Number 1 is theoretical approaches to history and literature. And in that, we have covered historiography and narrative fiction as historical rewriting, temporality, historical discourse by Paul Ricoeur, post-colonial historiography and indigenous perspectives. Then we have covered colonial and post-colonial memory through colonial rupture and displacement, whereby we discuss Abdul Razak Gurna and Zhu Wickham. Gandhian poetics and nation making was discussed. Apartheid and literary testimony in South Africa. Moving on then, in literature as an alternative archive, we discussed oral versus written histories where Chinua Achebe, Thomas Mopolo, myth and memory in historical narratives vis-a-vis Raja Rao, intertextuality and historical fiction vis-a-vis Salman Rushdie and Khushwant Singh. These were discussed. Then intersection of gender was also an important component where women in historical narratives, Indian drama and historical representation, the personal and the political and literary history, all this was discussed. Alternative histories and non-human entanglements was brought in also by Claudia, and she discussed environmental history and literature, referring to Tuareg culture and art. Indian Ocean and transnational histories was discussed by Professor Stefan through Gandhi's printing press, and of course, human, non-human histories, art, artifacts, and material culture. Narrative theory and temporality. A lot of theorists were also part of it, like Paul Ricoeur, Hayden White, Spivak, and Deepesh Chakravarti, their post-colonial theory and subaltern studies. Then Edward Said, Ranjit Guha, Chinua Achebe, through history and literature in Africa and India. They were also part of this discussion. All in all, we have covered 17 hours of Google Meeting time, which is on record, which excludes the inaugural and valedictory sessions. 60 plus enrollments are there in this course, and 165 plus unique attendees have been here in this course. This course has explored historical and literary intersections through African and Indian writing, alternative histories, post-colonial memory, gender, performance, and temporality. I will say that these are not the complete lists. There have been so many videos. We watched videos, we discussed them. There were beautiful questions by the participants, and I must thank each and every participant for bringing in their very, very valuable observations, their patience. Despite fatigue, despite odd hours, they kept sitting with us, and that was very, very valuable to make this course a success. So thank you very much. I'll take leave now, and we'll definitely meet in some other forum with some more ideas. Until then, keep historicizing, keep reading literature. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insights and views and for sharing the comprehensive course report. We now move ahead to one of the most awaited segments of this session, the participants' responses and feedback. I would request Dr. Vandana Sharma, Professor of English, Dean School of Languages, Central University of Jammu, to please share her views about the course in brief.
A very good afternoon. It's such a pleasure to be a part of this GIAN course. Indeed, I would say, as I told Professor Vibha in the very beginning, that of course I was looking forward because I was absolutely captivated by the very, nature, title, and what it's going to offer, unraveling the problem of history, exploring African and Indian writings. Of course, I would say that this course was a pertinent breakthrough. Like Professor Vibha very aptly and proficiently mentioned, that the eclecticism of this entire course, the eclectic approach which we had in this course, that really made it a path breaking, because we had various sessions which were touching upon the length and breadth of historicity, post-colonial narratives, rewriting histories. And since as a student of literature who started her career in African literature, so I said, and since I worked on Wole Soyinka for my PhD thesis, and his often quoted words when he said that African history has been distorted and truncated by not only by Europeans but also by Africans themselves. So therefore, it reinforces the role of the intellectual. Obviously, he talks of the African intellectual. So in a similar vein, in the Indian context, particularly in the South Asian context and the partition in the Indian subcontinent, definitely the course gave insightful sessions, whether it was a session starting from Professor Rizwan Khan to Professor Anita Singh. And of course, today listening to Professor Claudia, it was absolutely beautiful, knowing about the Tuareg people, the nomadic pastoralist, and the poetry rooted in desert. So thank you so very much. It was a great pleasure to be a part of this very interesting, very insightful and eclectic GIAN course. And my best wishes and congratulations to very dear friend and colleague, Professor Vibha Sharma, and her entire team, that I could be part of this course. And of course, it is definitely a new beginning, because you start exploring in the new era, in the new phase. and it opens new possibilities, of course. So thank you very much, and my best wishes.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Dr. Ishrat Jahan, Postdoctoral Fellow, ICSSR, JNU, and Maulana Azad National Urdu University, to briefly share his views about the course.
Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ishrat, and here I would like to elaborate few points that I have noted down to avoid or consuming much time of everyone. I had this opportunity to attend a virtually GIAN course, and it was an enriching academic experience. This course was well structured, well organized, and offering a very deep insight into the subject matter, into a multidisciplinary approach, and all lectures were well organized, well engaged, with expert faculty providing their valuable perspectives. If we are talking about the problem of history in African and Indian writing, it is explored through colonial ruptures, nationalist discourse, and feminist historiography. For example, Professor Stephen, he has highlighted how Abdul Razak's novel Paradise captures shifting power dynamics in colonial East Africa, that is portraying the displacement, substitute, and the decline of Muslim traders amid German imperialism. In another lecture, Professor Rizwan sir, he has highlighted Raja Rao's Kansapura disrupt traditional historiography by blending myths and history, employing Indianized English, oral storytelling, and Gandhian ideology. Gandhi's appropriation of Bhakti tradition, particularly Mirabai, and redefined nationalist resistance by integrating femininity into moral leadership. And meanwhile, many feminine historiography in India evolved many other early academic works in subaltern study, reclaiming lost voices through theater and literature. For example, that we can see in Recasting Women and Nati Binodini and Muktara. These narratives challenge dominant historical framework, offering counter histories that reimagine identity, agency, and resistance. And further, we can explore, we can extend the study. Nabuhi, she has talked about by rejecting English entirely, advocating for writing in indigenous languages to reclaim cultural sovereignty. So the continued relevance of these themes in AI ethics, digital historiography, and globalizations underscore their significance beyond literary study. So these, why I have highlighted, because these comparative analysis underscore how literature and performance serve as a potent tool for dismantling colonial legacies and reimagining historical agency. Overall, the course was intellectually stimulated, provided access the quality research and global expertise. So I would like to thank, I don't want to consume because there is so much to say, and time will be that will be less for us to talk. And I really am overwhelmed while thanking to the organizers' efforts, and I'm looking forward to join and attending more programs like this in future as well. So thank you once again, everyone, for giving me such opportunity. I'm really overwhelmed what to say. I'm unable to say. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Ishrat. Now, I would like to welcome the guest of honor, Professor Claudia Eggerer, for her special remarks. She is a distinguished associate professor of English at Stockholm University, Sweden. She is also a founding member of the Global Academy of Liberal Arts at Bath Spa University, England. Ma'am, please share your views.
Thank you for your introduction. I'll keep this short and sweet, I hope. This course has been a memorable experience of a coming together of the academic community across geographical space to discuss history and the problem of history. And for me, participation has been valuable in more ways than I can mention, because it confirmed, to begin with, my admiration for Indian philosophy and writers. I've mentioned a few of the writers that have shaped my own thinking a lot, Chakrabarty and Ghosh, but also they've been adding to our understanding of history and also the value of literature. Also, being able to work together with my dear colleague Vibha Sharma has been greatly appreciated. I hope we can see each other again in Stockholm, maybe seeing each other face to face. It seems that despite talking about all these matters and living in post-colonial and post-colonial ages, it seems that the colonial hangover is still with us. So we need to talk about this constantly. And I think instead of coming together in a shared vision of world history, what we have encountered here in this course is a mosaic of different positions that have enriched the discussions and will, I think, keep us thinking for a long time to come. My sincerest thanks go also, of course, to all the other participants, to the students, but also to the GIAN admin team who have worked so admirably with all the difficulties that we threw at them. I'm sorry that my computer, that my slides didn't work the way they should. But also, I think it is a credit to this course that we will move forward with more questions that will lead to more questions and hopefully to more meetings like this, because we do need international meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Claudia Egger, for honoring us with your presence throughout the course and for your kind words of appreciation. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Akshay Kumar Rath, Associate Professor, School of Humanities, Social Sciences.
Excuse me, he is not available. He's traveling, so he has left a message in the chat box. You can go on to the next speaker.
Yes, Minister. Professor Anita Singh, Chairperson at the Department of English, Banaras Hindu University. She received as Fulbright Nehru Visiting Scholar Fellowship for 2013-14 at the University of Virginia, USA, and a fellow at the Indian Institute of Advanced Study in Shimla, India. I now invite her as a guest of honor to share her views. Please.
It seems she's having some problem in connecting because she's here online. I can see her connected. Meanwhile, please ask the other speaker. She'll sort it out.
Okay. Professor Stefan Helgeson is currently serving as professor in the Department of English since 2011. As of January 2024, he is the Dean of Faculty of Arts and Vice Rector for Human Science. His doctoral thesis focused on the works of South African writers Yabolo Debele, Nadine Gordimer, and J.M. Coetzee, analyzing their engagements with the political upheavals of the 1980s through the post-colonial theory. Professor Stefan Helgeson has been kind enough to engage the participants in highly useful practical sessions through his expertise. I invite him for his special remarks.
Thank you for that very generous introduction. And I will also try and keep this brief, but first and foremost, allow me to express my heartfelt thanks to Vibha Sharma, whom I've known for many years now. It must have been more than 10 years since she first visited the department in Stockholm. And I'm very grateful to her for inviting me, suggesting that we should embark on this journey. And once again, I truly regret that I was unable to travel because of my other duties, but at the same time being reminded of my real academic self in this way by engaging in intellectual discussion with such a stellar gathering of colleagues and students is also a healing experience in many ways. And I'm impressed by how you've been able to keep all of this together online. And I feel that it has actually worked sort of on its own premises and under these conditions. And I do really hope that there will be an opportunity for me in the future to visit you on site at Aligarh Muslim University. I've always and remain inspired from all my sort of exchanges with Indian colleagues, and would like to find ways to continue to cultivate those connections, which are so important in this current dramatic moment in the world when geopolitical power relations are being rapidly configured, and we need to do our best as academics to continue to cultivate and cherish those transnational connections that enrich us intellectually and as people. So once again, thanks for making this happen.
Thank you, Professor Stefan Helgeson.
Professor Anita Singh has joined.
Thank you, Professor Stefan Helgeson, for lending us your precious time and making this course so fascinating for us. We hope to learn from you in times to come. Professor Anita Singh, chairperson at the Department of English, Banaras Hindu University. She received as Fulbright Nehru Visiting Scholar Fellowship for 2013 to 14 at the University of Virginia, USA, and a fellow at the Indian Institute of Advanced Study in Shimla, India, from 2018 to 20. I now invite her as a guest of honor to share her views. Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Rida. And thank you, the course coordinator, Vibha Sharma, for involving me in this GIAN program, which I'm sure, as I've heard some of the speakers speak previously, that it went on very well. I hope I could have been more meaningfully engaged in this, course in the entire week, or the span that you had. Uh, and the listening to the speakers and listening to you all made me realize that such courses are so meaningful, and I hope to be meaningfully involved next time. I'm sure Professor Vibha is going to organize many such more programs. So at the outset I would say that, yeah, I would love to be more meaningfully engaged in this program. And because of my own engagements at my university, I had a slot of an hour, or maybe I realized I should have had a longer slot maybe next time. So I only hope that there would be a next time, and I would love to be a part of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable remarks. I now invite Professor Shahina Tarannum, chairperson at the Department of English, AMU, to share her remarks on the occasion. She currently serves as professor and chairperson in the Department of English, Aligarh Muslim University, with her extensive expertise in modern drama, theatre studies, and women's writing. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Rida. Professor M.J. Varsi, Professor Anita Singh, Professor Stefan Helgeson, Dr. Claudia Egerer, other young faculty members, my colleagues who have joined this course. I'm really indebted to all of you, to all the resource persons and the participants for enabling the GIAN course become a very, as so many of you have said, very stimulating, intellectually meaningful, and productive experience. Because I say it with a lot of conviction, because as a student of literature myself, that is how I see it even at this stage. This was a truly learning experience for me, although I was not able to give much time to this, but honor of that I was able to join and see. Then it was a learning experience. Although the concept note or the theme of the GIAN course was unraveling the problem of history, exploring African Indian writing, I think it did not remain confined to the problems alone, or to history alone, or to any one aspect. I think the very idea of bringing together African and Indian writing is itself a challenging one. And for this, I congratulate Professor Vibha Sharma, and definitely with the help of Professor Stefan Helgeson, with coming up with this theme. Because Indian writing, has so much of depth, it has so much of intensity, it has so much of layers. And the same holds true for African writing, that bringing these two together, traveling such diverse topics also that were covered is daunting. It's a Herculean task, that is what I would say. But this 5-day course did it. So it is worth appreciation. And therefore, I congratulate and express my gratitude to the course coordinator, the dynamic Professor Vibha Sharma, and all the support team for this smooth conduct of this program. The course, as Gordon Craig had said for Indian theatre, that if you go close to Indian theatre, you may never return. So the information, the knowledge, the depth that these two writings has, lot needs to be done. So the program may have come to an end, the course may have come to an end, but I think it's a beginning. So before I say thank you to all of you for participating and making this success, I must thank Professor M. Varsi, who at the time as the coordinator of GIAN course, for giving this opportunity to the Department of English, and to Professor Vibha Sharma for, volunteering to bring this course to the Department of English, adding one more feather. I'm really grateful to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insights and views about the course. Professor Mohammad Rizwan Khan is a distinguished post-colonial scholar and professor in the Department of English at Aligarh Muslim University. His contributions to contemporary language and literary studies are also reflected in his edited works and academic publications, including Build Your Language, Improve Your Language, Enrich Your Language, that is published by Cambridge University Press. I now invite Professor Mohammad Rizwan Khan, Dean, Faculty of Arts, to give special remarks about the course.
Thank you so much, Rida, for and introducing me. Lots have been shared so far, and so on behalf of the Faculty of Arts, I would like to congratulate the course coordinator, Professor Vibha Sharma, and Professor Stefan, because it is a joint venture. So therefore, I congratulate both of you, and plus Professor Claudia, Professor Anita Singh, and Professor Rath, the other resource persons. So thank you very much for this. I hope that the participants they learn some new points relating to history and literature and their relationship. And because nowadays especially this has become more relevant because the discourse everywhere, it is changing, not only in India but in US also, UK also, in Africa also. So the efforts were there, but nowadays especially things are changing, and I'm so happy because of Vandana Sharma and Dr. Ishrat. They also talk sense about the course because they are very they refer to very relevant points regarding the course. So I hope that the participants, they learn something from this course. And certainly, as Professor Claudia said, that we need more interaction among international faculties. That is actually, we need it. Often we need it. So I request you to have continuous interaction with us and stay in touch. We can collaborate into publishing and publishing book, publishing research, further collaboration into organizing seminars, talks, so that that is the that is the purpose of GIAN, that we have an international collaboration. I'm sure Professor Jahangir Varsi, I'm so delighted to see him here as the chief guest for this valedictory session. And I'm sure that he will tell you the further meaning of what is the concept of GIAN course. So thank you very much. We had wonderful 5 days of uh, talking something related to the topic. Um, I wish you all the best, uh, the participants. I wish you all the best for future endeavors, and let us collaborate in future too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening remarks. I now invite the chief guest, Professor M.J. Varsi, to address the session. He is currently in the founding chairperson, Department of Linguistics, Baba Ghulam Shah Bahadur University, Rajouri. He was engaged in teaching and research in the Department of Linguistics, Aligarh Muslim University. Prior to AMU, he taught at University of Michigan and the University of California at Berkeley. He is the recipient of the James E. McLeod Faculty Award for the year 2012 at Washington University in St. Louis, USA. So kindly share your views.
Thank you, Rida, for the generous introduction, which I do not deserve. Basically, before I say something, I would like to say that I was not informed that I'm going to be the chief guest. And how can I be a chief guest in a program where my teacher is sitting there? And it is very, very embarrassing for me. And it is difficult for me to say anything in front of Professor Rizwan Khan, my teacher, my mentor, and everyone who is sitting there, such a great scholar. So it was not fair for Viva Sharma's part that he made me chief guest at this event. Thank you, though, for having me to say few words. Being a linguist, I have to say a few words, even if you did not ask for. But Professor Stephen, Professor Claudia, Professor Anita Singh, Professor Shahina Taranum ma'am, my teacher, my mentor, Professor Rizwan Khan, and Professor Viva Sharma, the course coordinator, the GIAN local coordinator, and all the participants, colleagues, Those who have joined this course have gotten to know that like how prestigious, how important this course was to having such a distinguished scholar expert for this course. As Rizwan sir said, like what is GIAN for? I think in the inaugural, Professor Vibha Sharma may have elaborated, but the basic idea is like to interact with the global pool of experts, those who have done distinguished work in their respective field. So we, Indian government has decided to collaborate with them, to have exchange of ideas and to work collaboratively. And as most of you agree that we have to, in a global, as a global citizen, we have to work together for a greater cause. So India is working in that direction, and this is one of the step in the form of GIAN, like Global Initiative of Academic Network, to have this kind of courses. I must congratulate once more to Professor Vibha Sharma for choosing this particular topic, which is very relevant, unraveling the problem of history, exploring African and Indian writing. As I was looking for the write-up that what people would have been saying about this, as we all know, India and Africa, African literatures have many commonalities. These have a strong elements of protest and highlight the significance of native languages and literature they are talking about. Many experts have said. We also know that the political and social as well as cultural history of a nation is no doubt reflected in its literature. If we follow the argument as such, then the literature of the enslaved and embattled nations like India and Africa should reflect the culture, cringe, or at least a hangover of the colonial times. Recent criticism, which takes its cue from the post-colonial discourse that you people are talking in the and have talked in the last five or a couple of days, that theory interpret the writings in the light of these assumptions. I was also looking at the some write-up where it is has been particularly about Professor Stephen Edelson, who has rightly said, who is himself is a renowned scholar and a post-colonial and world literature. We specializes in African and global literary studies, historiography, translation, and transnationalism. So his expertise is very much reflected in this program of the GIAN course. Claudius Egler, that she is very good scholar of environmental humanity. I do agree with when she said literature is an integral part of history. It plays an important role in shaping and reshaping our thinking. I was going through some of the topics that it has been delivered with, like attracted my attention, like the topic, the meaning of history and temporality in current theoretical debate by Professor Stephen was very, very relevant. So as Professor Rizwan talk on history narratives and the contemporary writing and rewriting, a literary retrospection was another important uh, talk in during the sessions. And then the reading theory of history for literature by Viva Sharma and many. I cannot go through that because it takes time for me to go through all these. These experts and scholars, like during the 5 days, critically deliberated and highlighted the ways in which the authors from these regions, like Indian writing systems and African writing systems, have engaged with history, reshaping it to reflect their unique perspective and experiences. This particular course, like as I was the local coordinator, have organized several events during the last couple of years, and there are few which are reflecting contemporary ideas. And this course on unraveling the problems of history, exploring African and Indian writing are very relevant to work on in these days. And we all know that this comprehensive exploration of problem of history in the literary traditions of Africa and India, focusing on the text written or translated into English. So this course was very successful, and I'm sure the participants, they must have taken the idea like what to do next. and what other areas that we can work on in near future or in coming days. So I must congratulate and Professor Viva Sharma and the entire team that organized such very successful GIAN course. I was listening the comment from Vandana Sharma and Dr. Ishrat Jahan. They were so rightly expressing their views about the course, that it was very insightful. All the lectures were very insightful and very relevant to this problem. So without taking much of the time, uh, I must congratulate the Aligarh Muslim University, the GIAN course coordinator, the GIAN local coordinator for having this successful program. And I wish the future event under the leadership of Professor Viva Sharma, that many more to come in this direction. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. We would now like to present appreciation letters to our learned resource persons and dignitaries who have contributed in numerous ways towards making the course a success. I request Ms. Umme Umara to display the presentation. Professor Stefan Helgesson, guest of honor and an eminent resource person from the Department of English, Stockholm University, Sweden. Professor Claudia Egger, Associate.
We can just keep on. I will read out. Professor Claudia Egger's certificate. This is a small token, just to officially document our appreciation. Next. Professor Anita Singh's certificate for valuable contribution made to this course. This is Dr. Akshay Kumar Rath's certificate of appreciation for making a valuable contribution. This is for our Vice Chancellor. She's been a wonderful leader in all these things and always with us. A certificate of appreciation for her. This is for our Finance Officer. Friends, how can we not acknowledge his contribution in making this university an academically excellent place? Next. This is for Professor Mohammad Jahangir Warsi, a certificate of appreciation from all of us. It is beyond words for all that you have done. Thank you so much for always being there, sir. This is for our Dean, Professor Muhammad Rizwan Khan, and also one of the Indian faculties. Thank you, sir, for being a very valuable component of this course and leading us. Next. This is for our chairperson, a certificate of appreciation for being such a warm and wonderful person to keep the academic environment of the department intact. Thank you very much.
With this, we have now come to the end of the valedictory session. I invite my colleague, Ms. Umme Umara Khan, Research Scholar, Department of English, AMU, to deliver the vote of thanks, followed by Tarana of the University and National Anthem.
Thank you, Rida. On behalf of the organizing team of the GIAN course on unraveling the problem of history, exploring African and Indian writing at Aligarh Muslim University, I sincerely extend my gratitude to all those who contributed to making this course a success. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished expert and foreign faculty, Professor Stefan Helgesson from Stockholm University, Sweden. His insightful lectures and engaging discussions have enriched this course tremendously, providing participants with a deeper understanding of the subject. I express my deep sense of gratitude to Professor Anita Singh for gracing the session with her presence. It is truly fitting to have her as guest of honor. I also acknowledge and appreciate the lecture delivered by Dr. Akshay Kumar Rath, IIT Bhubaneswar, which greatly added value to the course. I also extend my sincere thanks to Professor Claudia Egger from Stockholm University, Sweden, for her presence and for filling the participants with a fascinating lecture on Tuareg culture and art today. Her contributions have been invaluable to the course participants. My gratitude also goes to the Dean of the Faculty of Arts and National Faculty of the course, Professor Mohammad Rizwan Khan, for his gracious participation in the session. His insights and perspectives have added immense value to the course, enriching our understanding of the subject matter. A special note of thanks to Professor Shahina Tarannum, Chairperson, Department of English, AMU, for her essential support throughout the course and for addressing the audience during the session. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Professor Jahangir Warsi sir, Dean Academic Affairs and Dean Schools of Islamic Studies and Languages, Management Studies and Economics, and the School of Education, Department of Linguistics, for his presence as our chief guest and for his insightful and encouraging address. My deepest gratitude goes to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, Finance Officer, and the Proctor for their invaluable guidance and cooperation and support in ensuring in the smooth execution of this course. I extend my sincere appreciation to the University PRO for managing the publication of session reports. A special note of gratitude to the Ministry of Education and the coordinators at GIAN, IIT Kharagpur, for awarding this GIAN course to Professor Vibha Sharma, Department of English, AMU. I am profoundly thankful to Professor Vibha Sharma, the course coordinator and GIAN local coordinator, for conceptualizing and organizing this course. Her commitment to academic excellence and her openness to new and emerging academic avenues have made this course a remarkable learning experience. A heartfelt thanks to Mr. Jameel Hussain, Research Scholar, Department of English, AMU, for the beautiful recitation of verses from the Holy Quran at the session's opening. I also acknowledge the dedicated efforts of the organizing team members for coordinating the sessions and preparing the session reports. My sincere gratitude extends to all the teachers and students from across the university and the country who joined us for all the sessions and the valedictory session today. Last but certainly not the least, I thank all the course participants for their enthusiastic engagement through our thoughtful contributions and commitment to learning, which have made this GIAN course a resounding success. Once again, I, Umar Khan, on behalf of all the GIAN course team, express my deepest appreciation to everyone for their cordial cooperation and support. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Umara. Sadia, kindly play the Tarana of the University and National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much